whatever you do in life, try not to be like me. I'm out here in Overland Park, Kansas, canvassing the neighborhoods, snapping pictures of people's plants, trying to get some inspiration to take back home, I guess, for my own decorating ideas. I'm delivering to a job site. The guys were an hour late. After they showed up an hour late, they did let's give them full credit. They did 3 trips into my trailer with the forklift, and then they went to lunch. They cost me a load. I thought I was going to be on my way to Miami after this, but I'm not now. So I'm here walking to not only get my steps in, but also walking to blow off some steam. But I was thinking, as I really process what's happened today through this whole process of things not going my way, I spoke to a person who was the superintendent, I guess, of the job site, or he was the sales rep. Not exactly sure. But he made some promises that led to my disappointment. He told me first and foremost to show up at 10 o'clock. I did that. The people who were supposed to unload were an hour late. He also told me that there would be a bunch of guys, like 12 of them. Well, there was only 4 who were unloading the trailer. He also told me that the area I was going to, the job site, would be truck friendly. I would be able to unload a 53-foot dry van on the premises. That also wasn't true. So it reminds me of a metaphor for how life works altogether. You see, in order for you to make an accurate assessment of anything, in order for you to truly know what's happening, you have to go through some things. You have to go to some things. I get that insight from a chapter in Quincy Jones's book, 12 Notes. And I just want to say, as a side note, shout out to everybody who can pick up a book and just read it. I used to be one of those people where I would pick up books and it was all about burning through the information, reading this book and getting on to the next one. But now I'll see insights that'll make me put the book down for months and really reflect on the weight of what's being said. You see, when I read Quincy Jones say that you have to go to know, and he was speaking from the aspect of being a person who's well-traveled, going all around the world, performing for different people, different cultures, eating different foods, seeing different women. You can never truly understand what's happening until you see it for yourself. I say that because as I'm walking back up to this job site, I'm in the middle of a neighborhood with my enormous truck that is not supposed to be here. If a cop was to come in, I would definitely get a ticket. And the guy who was supposed to be my liaison, I guess you can say, told me that everything would be perfectly fine, that I would have plenty of room, which, as we can all see behind me, I don't. But that's not a problem. He overpromised and under-delivered, I guess you could say, when it comes to my situation. But now that I know, and had I known beforehand, maybe I wouldn't have been so disappointed. So I really say that to say this. In life, I don't care what you have going on. And I'm trying to find some good light. I think I messed up. Let me turn around here. Okay, yeah, it's better. Let me get these people's houses out of the view. Yeah, it's much better. In life, no matter what you plan on doing, there are going to be people who are going to offer you advice, and there's going to be several people who are going to offer you discouragement. But in all honesty, you have to experience whatever you want to experience for yourself. Whether you're starting a business, whether you're starting a new job, whether you're planning on moving to a new place, the only way you can have a full understanding of what is required for you to make that idea a success is for you to take that step. There's been a couple of other examples in my life that have kind of made me come to this conclusion. One being, as I've attempted to make this YouTube channel a success, I hear a lot of people offering advice for YouTube channel success. And while these tactics, these ideas, this strategy may work for larger channels, if you're in the beginning stages of YouTube, you just have to live by the philosophy of you've got to go to know. Meaning you've got to record the videos. You've got to get over feeling cringe. As I've got all these people driving by, maybe 6 months ago, I would have never in a million years walked through somebody's neighborhood holding my cell phone up, turned towards me, and speaking on top of that. But it took me to go to that place to understand what it was really about. 7 to 8 minutes of being uncomfortable could potentially lead to a lifetime of revenue on social media platforms if I do this right and stay persistent. So why not go and be uncomfortable for a little while? But you have to be able to do those things before any advice that any YouTube guru gives you would make any sense. There are situations where people listen to news reports and they make judgments about certain areas of the world or certain people based on what they've heard from a third party. And while sometimes a third party, the news or whatever, can make situations seem dangerous, the only way you can know is to go and see for yourself. And so I'm learning that as I try and improve my video quality, as I try and make these videos that people can watch. The only way for me to figure out how this code is cracked is to try my hand at the combination a few times. Lastly, I'll leave you with another example from my personal life. And it was me having a conversation with my father. And if he sees this, I hope he doesn't think I'm making fun of him. But we were talking, and I was on my way to an area that was on the news. I was in my truck. I was heading to Texas. I want to say I was in the Dallas area. And at the time, they were experiencing power outages. And my father, he tells me while I'm there, it's like, Texas has no power. And I'm like, well, who says that? It's like, that's what they're saying on the news. And at that moment, I had to inform him that I just ordered Wendy's through an app. They've got power in the area that I'm at. But aside from that, do you know how big of a state Texas is for the entire state to be without power? There'd have to be something real serious going on. So anyway, that's the end of my spiel for today. I am aware that currently in Central Texas, they're experiencing floods. So if you're from that area, or if you know anybody in that area, my condolences go out to everybody, and I hope everybody's safe and sound, and they can start the process of rebuilding their lives soon. But just remember, you've got to go to know. You've got to put in the work before you can understand what anything takes. Or let me rephrase, you've got to go and put in the work before you know what it takes to be successful. And unfortunately, you've got to go to know whether what you're pursuing is even worth it. But in all honesty, in the grand scheme of things, it's always worth it, if for nothing else, the learning experience. I'm going to let you go, conclude this video, and as you can see, I will see you real soon. Like, comment, and subscribe if this message resonated with you. I'll catch you next time.